David, we've been talking about the homeless situation, and you are now homeless. And how long have you been homeless?
Since May of this year, first time I've been homeless in my 52 years.
And what did you know about the homeless population before this happened to you?
Well, I used to work with them quite a few years when I was in the food ministry with my father, who was a pastor and had his church. And I came across all kinds of homeless people since that point. Never thought I'd be in the same situation they're in, but here I am.
And so your perception of why they became homeless or how they became homeless?
Oh, I've heard hundreds of stories of why when they came through the food lines to pick up from my dad's church, anywhere from drug abuse, alcohol abuse, domestic violence, women that came with their children had to leave their homes, out of state, came here with hopes and dreams and never materialized, family problems with their family saying that they're going to do one thing and wound up doing another. And I mean, I can go on and on and on. But, yeah.
Will you tell us how you became homeless?
Very simple. My last job, I could no longer keep up with the staff. Working maintenance for the water company. And my boss came up to me one day and said, David, this was in April of 2013, and said, I need to tell you in 2 weeks I have to lay you off. I'll let you go. And I'm doing it for your own good because you just fell off a ladder because you no longer have the strength in your body to stay up on that ladder and do the job. And I got to do this because you're my friend and you're an employee here. It's a liability issue for the company as well. I'm doing it because of your health, because I don't want to see you get hurt, any worse than what has happened already. And I truly believe you need to go ahead and have your doctors put you on disability. So I took the man's advice and I was laid off, worked my last day that they allowed me to, and applied for disability Social Security because I believe that after 40 years of working, that I'm entitled to that. I paid into the fund and all I want is what's coming to me. But unfortunately, it's a lot of red tape with Social Security because they make you jump through hoops hoping that you quit and give up and don't pursue the money. And in the process, I only could collect GR. My unemployment ran out, which wasn't very much, and GR took over, but just doesn't cover the bills to pay yourself, rent, place to sleep, and led to me being here.
And so do you have any family?
Oh yeah, I have family. I have my sister and my sons. My sons, they have their lives to live. They got their marriages, and my other ones are going to college, and I want them to continue going. I don't want to be a disruption. My boys would have no problem in the world with me moving out with them, even though they live in Arizona. One lives, out there in the Empire. But that is, when the time comes, if I ever should, I have no other way of making it. I know I can rely, on them and possibly go stay with them. But at the moment, I choose to do this on my own. Call it stubborn, call it what you want. But I'm not giving up on my pursuit of what I think I deserve that's coming to me. So here I am, and just keep on fighting, and hopefully my disability benefits will come through and I can get back to normal life.
And how is your health?
Health, to tell you the truth, is pretty bad. It could be worse, and I know there are a lot of people worse off than me in this world. But with the 3 heart attacks I've had in my life, the open heart surgery, the stents that were put in, the neuropathy in my legs, the arthritis that is spreading all over my back, it could be better, but like I said, I'm grateful to, what I'm getting now with the help I'm getting with Medi-Cal. But it just seems like the health is getting worse, and just living day to day because I'm not guaranteed tomorrow.
How are you coping emotionally? Do you have a support system?
Actually, I'm just coping it with myself. I talk to a couple of friends of mine, on a daily basis, and they give words of encouragement, and you know, got my back in that manner, so to speak. Homelessness is, and I've talked to you about this before. Homelessness is not only financially, not only materialistically destroying, it strips you of your dignity, and it strips you of your self-respect, I believe, to a certain point of despair in some cases. And I talk for myself. I don't know if everybody else feels that way, but I think generally that's what it comes down to. People, and this is why I used to think about it when I used to see homeless people. Okay, right off the bat, you think they have no money, no finances. Okay, that's fine, and that's true. But there's more to it than that. Now that I've lived it, so to speak, been on both sides of the fence, I've had jobs where I make great money, and now I'm on this side. But it's not only the money, it's the way people perceive you, society perceives you, your dignity, like I said, is destroyed practically, so is your self-respect. Once you lose that, it is so hard to get it back. But if you want a normal life, and I say a normal life, some people are content being homeless, and that's their business. Me, myself, I'm not. And I want to get back to doing my normal life activities, if you will, being part of society again. Because right now, I know people, they see me on the street, they know that I'm at a shelter. They look at you kind of a funny way. And that's unfortunate, but that's what I believe.
Now, you had mentioned to me something about your family situation with a sister. Is that something that you would like to share?
To tell you the truth, I mean, that's a little personal, but this isn't pertaining to all family. Pertains to, in my case, a certain individual. And I'm only going to say this: sometimes you're better off with your enemies than with family members. And I don't say that in a derogatory, mean way, because there are other family members that I love dearly that tried and want to help and already have tried. And I'm sure, there's, like my sons, for example, my sister, I love them to death. They're not in a position to do a whole lot at the moment, but then there's others that I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them.
Right. No, what I was referring to is the fact that you had relied on a situation where you would have had a home.
Oh, yeah, well, giving up my apartment, then going on somebody's word that everything was going to be okay. All I had to do was walk out of my place with the clothes on my back, my pictures and my papers, and I left everything else behind. And now to find out that I did need it, and I shouldn't have left it behind. I should have taken my refrigerators, my microwaves, my furniture, my bedroom set, my possessions, period. I should have took them with me. I should have known better, but I didn't. And, I felt betrayed, but it is what it is now, and I have to work with what I have with now, and so we start all over again, but I didn't care for that at that time of what I perceived was done to me.
Right, and fortunately though, you said that your father was a pastor,
Mm-hmm.
so you have a spiritual perspective, which is that all of these things anyway are meaningless in the end. We come in alone and we will leave alone, and so our journey that we're traveling is all about overcoming challenges, and what we're learning is so much greater than thinking about the little things and the things we have.
Well, tell you the truth, that real quick on where I'm at right now, it's a blessing that I have that. I have a place I can lay my head. I have a shower, I can take a shower, a place where they feed me. I consider that a blessing. Believe it or not, a lot of people think of it, oh man, I have to stay in the shelter, oh, poor me. Okay, I understand that. I'm there, I understand it. I know what it feels like. But I feel there's a blessing. It beats sleeping next to a dumpster in an alley, let me tell you. You know? And as far as the spiritual thing that you were just talking about, yeah, my dad was a pastor, and he taught me a lot of things that I use even today to overcome some of the things. Because I get just as angry and upset and pissed at the world just like anybody else. I'm a human being. If you don't forgive, God will not forgive you. I will forgive a person. I have no problem with that. But I will not forget. That's one thing I won't do. Because, you know, the good book also says, that God says, vengeance is mine. So, you know, eventually, you know, they have to pay for whatever they do to certain people. Yeah. And I claim to be no angel. I've done my bad things in my life. And I am no different than anybody else. I put pants one leg at a time. So.
Is there anything you would like to share with the world about homelessness and about the situation? And
Well, in reality, the one thing I like to share is with the government. You know, here as an example, I'm waiting for something that I believe I earned, and yet they're making it hard for even people that put into a fund to get back what they put in, so to speak. I'm more than qualified for the benefits after the 3 heart attacks and the neuropathy I have in the back and all the health issues I have. Taking 15 medications a day, which I hate doing, but I have to do it. But I wish the government would go ahead and take care of home problems first. Then worry about what's going on in the Middle East and everywhere else in the country. You take care of yours first, and then when you got that extra time, you take care of you want to be the superpower and take care of all that. Because that ain't happening. It ain't happening, you know. We're not taking care of our own people.
there are so many
You know?
Americans who are
Yeah.
suffering.
Now, granted, there's some people out there that don't want the help. They'd rather be homeless. They want their freedom. They don't want nobody telling them what to do. That's their choice. This is America. We have the choice. But when the government spend billions of dollars outside the country on on wars and all the other crap, which, and to tell you the truth, they have no business going into, I don't think, which I'm not a politician, and we have problems at the home front, and we ain't taking care of it, there's something wrong with that picture.
When upstanding American citizens are sleeping in doorways and sleeping in parks and starving
Yeah, I agree.
and not getting the medical attention that they need.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's a small part of it, but that's some of the problems that we're not taking care of here in our own backyard.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.